Hello everyone and welcome back to Muscle Fitness, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Bowflex maintenance. That's right, doing the Bowflex maintenance myself and reviewing it as well. So first things first, what you're going to want to do to maintenance this machine correctly is you're going to want to take all of these rods off, and the way to do that is to obviously hook them all up at once. Otherwise you will not be able to reach your hands in between the necessary areas to take out the center part that is holding the rod box on there. And it will be for me specifically, because I have the 700-pound upgrade, it is like two different areas that are held together by two different metal screws that are very long, that not only screw in both ways, so you have to have one on the top and one on the bottom. So the easiest way to do this, I figured out, was to get 11 millimeters for the bottom and 13 millimeters for the top part, and then obviously unscrew it and then take the rod box off. After that, before you take it off, obviously you have to unhook all those rods and then you can take it off. As we go along with this, obviously taking off the rods is a little bit of a process, and then you have to figure out what is easier for you. Personally, I was doing this with a normal Phillips head screwdriver for a while, and it kind of just got too much work and took too much time. The normal rate of getting this finished and fully done is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And even with my my machine screwdriver to help me out, it actually takes a little bit of time as well. So as you can tell, some of these screws, they get like stuck sometimes, and sometimes they just get all warped and don't come out properly. So you kind of have to pull those out either by hand or with a flathead screwdriver as you're trying to unscrew it, either by hand or my machine or drill, shall I say. And then obviously, to put these back, you're going to want to face the rods in the direction that they're bending toward each other. As you can see, as I'm taking these off, I'm just making sure that everything is on a different side than it was before. But when you put them back on, you're going to want to obviously face them in the opposite direction of each other. The bends should be facing each other when you're finished, and then you put it back on. Tightening up the actual Bowflex itself, you will need the wrench, and you might even need pliers to help you out with this situation as well, because there are some areas that cannot be tightened without two areas being held at once. And righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, of course. Why would you want to tighten up the body? The reason for this is because over time everything gets loosened up, and obviously things can get messed up on the actual body of the machine, which causes the body to either bend or move around too much. So it's always good to get this stuff as tight as you possibly can. Right now you can see me just putting all these rods on, but anyway, please tighten up the machine and make sure that every single screw and every single thing is fully tightened as much as you can, as best as you possibly can. Always tie up the rods after use of the rods, because not only will it save you maintenance time, but it will also reduce the time that you have to switch the rods in the opposite direction, as you're seeing me doing it right now. It will help with the overall health of the rods and help it not be weaker faster, obviously. And as you can tell, I'm pretty much done right here for this process. but explaining the other process for the body is definitely a little bit of a different situation, because sometimes you have, you know, certain areas that you can tighten better than others. Obviously, that's me tightening the back. There are more areas for the back. I just I already tightened those earlier. I kind of cut out that video just because of how short it was, but you kind of get the gist and the idea of why to do it. It just kind of keeps everything tightened and safe for you to use this machine longer, and you definitely don't have to mess around a super long time with tightening this stuff. It might take you an extra, you know, five maybe even maximum of 10 minutes. The thing that takes the most time is probably the rods, just because of how many screws that I have for each and every single rod. Obviously, you can tell the rod box is very long and very big, so that definitely takes a lot more time to do than this other tightening stuff around the body. It's always best to try to, you know, tighten every single area that you can possibly get to. If you can't get to every single area, that's fine. Just figure out what needs to be tightened the most.